This coarse, heavily modified pistol let out a thunderous bang, stunning and deafening the scavengers. They immediately slunk backwards and shut their mouths, their gazes turned dull and despondent with a hint of fear and cowardice mixed within. The fat man, Sly Fox, continued to shout at them. I have credible information that a group of sweepers are active nearby. It is very likely that they might hit this place at any moment. Do you understand what I'm saying? Looks of utter terror instantly appeared in the numbed eyes of the scavengers. The sweepers. They were synonymous with terror. The sweepers were a group of mutant bandits who were incredibly bloodthirsty and who delighted in cannibalism. To the sweepers, the scavengers were like sheep for the slaughter. Whenever the sweepers swept through a place, they brought utter, calamitous annihilation to the local scavengers. If you end up being captured by the sweepers, you'll be captured and corralled like pigs. They'll rip the meat off your bones, then smoke it and store it away for later. They'll break your bones and make decorations out of them, and the pitiful amount of fat you have will be squeezed out of you and used as fuel for their oil lamps. These cruel words were like a cold wind that blew past the scavengers, causing all of them to shudder. This was just how the sweepers were. They swept through everything in their path, sparing nothing and no one. Sly Fox finally announced the reason he had come here today. Today, I'm going to choose a few dozen strong scavengers to form a squad with us. We'll be responsible for providing you with weapons to help you fight back against the sweepers. The scavengers all retreated by a few steps. Nobody dared to make a sound. The sweepers were legendary for their cruelty and savagery. How would mere scavengers dare to challenge them? Useless pieces of crap. You'd rather wait for death than try and make a fight out of it? When the fat man saw how the scavengers were completely unresponsive, he said in a loud voice, "Who will be the first volunteer? After we beat the sweepers, I'll take him with me when we leave this place." "I'll go." A skinny youth with a bloody nose and a bruised face came running over, his face red as he panted from exertion. It was Cloudhawk. The Wastelands riders who were mounted on the Bigfoot birds all began to roar with laughter. A teenage child was clamoring to go and fight the sweepers? When Sly Fox saw the child emerge, he glared at him and bellowed, "Can you even lift up our fucking weapons? Just fuck off. I want to go fight the sweepers." A steely look was in Cloudhawk's eyes as he said, "If I can survive the fight, you need to fulfill your promise and take me away from this place." The fat man had a strange look on his face. "Do you really want to leave that much? Staying alive matters more than anything else." Cloudhawk said, "I want to be a digger. I don't want to be hungry anymore, and I don't want to be taken advantage of by anyone any longer." The Wastelands riders all roared with laughter once more. Such juvenile words could only come from the mouths of ignorant children. Staying alive in a crazy era like this one ain't easy. Living with honor and dignity is even harder. Do you think you'll never go hungry again or never be taken advantage of again once you become a digger? What a joke. The fat man had been planning on kicking the kid away, but when he saw that look in the kid's pitch-black eyes, for some reason even he couldn't explain, he slapped himself on his own head and said, "Fuck me. Fine. I'll give you one chance. If we wipe out the sweepers and you make it out alive, I'll give you a chance to join us, the Tartarus mercenaries." "You seriously letting him in? He's just a fucking scav. Shut your fucking mouth. You aren't exactly a fucking noble either. I'm the fucking boss here. What I say goes." The fat man fired yet another round into the air. Even a brat like him has the balls to fight. What are the rest of you are afraid of? If you go fight the sweepers, I'll give you each 2 pieces of bread and a bottle of water. If you don't go, I'll let you have a taste of gunpowder. For scavengers, the most irresistible type of temptation was food. In turn, the most terrifying fear was that of death. This new proposal was far more effective than the previous one. The scavengers began to step forwards, and soon Sly Fox was able to fully assemble his suicide his Lionheart squad. The fat man called out loudly, "Send this batch over right away. The others can wait here. You there? Get in the car with me." Cloudhawk was dragged into the front passenger seat. The engine revved to life with a bestial howl before he even had a chance to find his footing, and the momentum caused him to be pressed firmly against the seat. This ramshackle vehicle was cobbled together from 7 or 8 different vehicles and seemed ready to fall apart at a moment's notice. But once it started to move, it moved at incredible speeds, instantly zipping off into the distance. The real problem was that the damn thing didn't have any seatbelts. The scavengers had no choice but to desperately cling on for dear life in order to not be sent flying. The 6 wastelands riders each brought a scavenger along with them. The Bigfoot birds twisted their necks, then immediately began to gallop across the sands with their giant feet. As for the porcupine-like vehicle, it was now packed to the brim with scavengers. It clambered up and down the sand dunes, dangerously veering right and left as it just barely avoided the obstacles in its path. It was an exciting but incredibly bumpy ride, and it felt as though they were a small boat being tossed about in a storm at sea. Cloudhawk felt both nervous and excited. His entire body was trembling, whether it be due to the terrifying prospect of facing the savage sweepers or the chance of seeing the vast world outside the scavenger camp. Every single cell in his body was screaming in excitement. One thought in particular dominated his mind. "Oldtimer, are you seeing this? I just made it out of the camp.